All right, so we're going to introduce the idea of algebra. And let's first start off by recapping everything that we know so far, or most of everything we know so far. So far we know what numbers are, we know how to add numbers, subtract, we know how to multiply numbers, we know how to divide numbers, we know what it means to have an inequality, so greater than, less than. We know what it means to have two numbers. We know what it means to have an equality. We also know what it means to raise numbers to powers. Now, if you want to think about it, every time we introduce an idea, so first you were introduced to the idea of numbers. And then after that, what happened was we started introducing new ideas and seeing how they relate with each other, how you can mix, you can think of these as blocks, and seeing how you can play with these blocks and the different arrangements that you can get from those blocks. So let's say, for example, we play with the blocks of numbers, addition, and equal. You could say 3 plus 3 is equals to 6. So we took this idea of numbers, which were 3, 3, and 6. We took this idea of adding two numbers, so 3 plus 3, and we also used this idea of equality. So we said 3 plus 3 is equals to 6. So you can think of it as we have all these ideas, or we have all these tools, or we have all these blocks, and what we're doing so far is seeing how all these blocks can be rearranged, or what kind of connections or what kind of patterns can we do with them. So we can take numbers and add them, and then get that equal to something. You can take numbers and raise powers. So you're taking all these tools and seeing what you can do with them, all the different arrangements with them. So now what we're going to do in algebra is we're going to introduce a new idea. We're going to start off with one idea, but we're going to keep introducing more and more ideas. And we're going to see how they relate with everything that we know so far. So you can think of this as the blocks of all the ideas and tools that we know so far. And all of mathematics is this way. All of math starts off with you're given certain things that you know, you introduce something new, and you see how that relates with everything that you've learned so far. So this new block that we're going to add here, the first one, we're going to call this block a variable. And what does a variable mean? Well, one way to understand what a variable means is to first see what's the difference between arithmetic and algebra. So in arithmetic, you were just given certain numbers. Let's say 4 minus 2 is equals to 2. In arithmetic, you're given something, and you just have to use all the rules, all the operations, to just continue until you're done, until you make sure that the thing you're looking for is true. So 4 minus 2 is 2. So this thing is true. That's what we're looking for the whole time. We're just doing the operations. In algebra, the difference is, instead of now doing the operations, we are doing the operations, but our primary goal is to find out something. We're trying to find what the variable is. And the variable is called a placeholder. You can think of it as a placeholder. So for example, x minus 2 is equals to 2. So the whole point of this one, in comparison to the one we had before, is we don't know what this value of x is. So our main objective is to find out what x is. So what we want to do is we want to apply all these rules that we've set up so far. So what do we know? What can we do? We can bring the 2 to the other side, right? We know how to do that. We just add 2 to both sides, and we should get x by itself is equals to 2 plus 2 is 4. So now we found out that x is equals to 4. And I said it was a placeholder because before we found out the answer, when we were just right here, we're looking for what that is. So we're saying, okay, what value makes this expression true? I don't know what it is, so let's put x. Let's put a placeholder and see if we can eventually find out what that value is. After we do the steps, we find out that that value of x is equals to 4. So in the next series of videos, we'll expand on this idea of a variable, and we'll take this block, this idea, this tool that we've introduced, and see how we can relate it with everything we've learned, and see what can happen from that. And a lot can happen from that.